afternoon and welcome back to the brief at 30. You're here with me, Sandro Satyajit. In your local news, President Ranil Wickremesinghe said the government has prepared a national adaptation plan and national environment action plan to ensure a green economy and a better world by 2050. President Ranil Wickremesinghe, addressing a high-level event on strategies and actions to accelerate Sri Lanka's transition to a green growth pathway in Colombo, noted that Sri Lanka has the potential to establish the green economy, especially by way of renewable energy. The event was organized by the Ministry of Environment and the Global Green Growth Institute (GGGI).
Sri Lanka is in the process to decrease carbon emissions by 14.5% by 2030 and more thereafter. We are creating the Climate Change Office, operating under the President's Secretariat to coordinate all action in regard to climate change. Then we have prepared a Natural Adaptation Plan and the National Environment Action Plan. All of this is being taken as initiative by our government so that we ensure a green economy and a better world by 2050. We are developing the Net Zero 2050 plan that aims for carbon neutrality. We will not increase further energy capacity via coal power. We will phase out the fossil fuel subsidies. We are already doing that and we have come under attack from the opposition for phasing it out. And we will aim for 70% of renewable energy for electricity generation by 2030. There are many initiatives that we will be taking for this period. Firstly, a new Climate Change Act, which will incorporate the Climate Change Office. New Environment Act to replace the old one, which was enacted in the early 1980s, and one which will cover reforestation, forest cover and tree cover. Now we are grappling with the issue of a green economy. That's where we want to go. We find that we have the potential, especially on renewable energy. With the help of the Asian Development Bank, we are assessing what our capacity for renewable energy and green hydrogen would be. Some say we'll have an excess capacity of about 30 gigawatts, some say 40, some say 50, but we'd want to have the assessment that will be made by the Asian Development Bank. So we already then call for investments in this region. This is one area that we can prosper in.
You will be able to overcome all these difficult times for genuine democracy and sustainable economic growth and social development. Sri Lanka is a very honorable member. I will spare no effort to work with your people to make sure that your people will enjoy genuine peace and freedom and sustainable development. You can count on me. I understand the government's first priority is reaching an agreement with the International Monetary Fund, IMF. GGGI believes Sri Lanka should consider opportunities for further debt reduction with a debt for nature and for a debt for climate swap. If successfully arranged, such transactions can reduce sovereign debt, as well as bring much-needed resources to conservation and climate action.
And now moving on to news overseas, energy giant BP has reported record annual profits after oil and gas prices surged last year following Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
The company's profits more than doubled to $27.7 billion in 2022, compared with $12.8 billion the year before. Other energy firms have seen similar rises, with Shell reporting record earnings of nearly $40 billion last week. The profits have led to calls for energy firms to pay more tax as households face rising bills. Energy prices had begun to climb after the end of COVID lockdowns, but rose sharply in March last year when Russia invaded Ukraine, sparking concerns over supplies.
That's all the news for now. With the brief at 30 throughout the evening with me, Sandro Satyajit, for accurate news in brief.